Good afternoon, and today's topic will be research. Since research is an integral part of higher studies, research is a part that is also a section of our understanding and knowledge when we go beyond our regular mode of studies. So, research, this topic that we are going to discuss today, it has so many dimensions actually. Research has so many aspects. Research invites different opinions, and research talks a lot about human experiences in that sense. Now, what is research? The very common and the most popular specific observation on research is that it is re-search. You search something in a repeated way. You search one thing in a different fashion. You relocate, you reinterpret, you reinvestigate something that so many before you have already done, that so many before you have already attempted to work on, but your point of view is different, your way of thinking is different, and here lies the very speciality about the particular concept that we call research. So, in every research, two very important things are to be kept in mind from the very outset. What are the two very important aspects that we are to think and that we are to decide, that we are to look upon? One is you are looking afresh, you are looking at something different way, in a different approach and in a different angle. If this is one very important thing that we need to keep in mind while doing research, on the other hand, the important and the most valuable aspect that has to be maintained, this one is, in every research someone contributes. In every research someone offers something in that huge corpus of human knowledge. Every research is in that sense a unique contribution, that sort of contribution that will heighten the so-called, so far, that process of knowledge making. So, research is not merely searching. Out of your long search, out of your long observation, you come to a conclusion that you are ultimately contributing for the cause of human knowledge, for the development of human understanding. Now, research is basically called a very systematic process of inquiry. Every researcher, when he starts a research work, he has to be very, very systematic. Now, no research can be done in a haphazard manner. No research can be executed being in a confusion. Now, this is the holy job of a researcher, that out of chaos and pandemonium, he or she will gradually establish his views and opinions in a chronological manner, in a systematic manner, and in a very perfect way. So, this systematization, this systematic progress of that duty, job of a researcher is one of the very prime issues, and that has to be maintained religiously. Religion here doesn't mean the individual's particular way of faith, particular purpose of faith. No, I am not talking of that particular individual's religion. I am speaking of the religion of a researcher. Yesterday I was reading a Bengali collection of essays. This one is by Acharya Prafullo Chandra Ray, one of the pioneers of Indian chemistry and researcher, a scientist who dedicated his whole life in research. Now, in one of the articles of that particular collection of essays, there I found in Bangla it was named Sadhana o Siddhi. You do research and ultimately you get enlightened and you are successful to reach your pinnacle and to reach your destination. Now, how does it happen? In that article, essay by Acharya Prafullo Chandra Ray, I found Prafullo Chandra Ray is very clear cut to say that shallow knowledge and superficial knowledge wouldn't work, can do no service to that huge mammoth collection of knowledge making process. While talking about research, dedication is something that Prafullo Chandra Ray is giving importance to. While doing research, he is talking about wholehearted dedication. A dedication for which you can actually ignore everything for the cause of your research. So this is the very prime object, this is the very prime intention that Prafullo Chandra Ray has attempted to say in that particular piece of writing that is known Sadhana o Siddhi. He is also making a comparison that it is not something that researches are only done in the Western countries. Now, Prafullo Chandra Ray was a brilliant scholar and he went to abroad so many times, and he visiting so many Western universities came to the conclusion that those are those places where pioneers of researches, they are working continuously, laboriously, forgetting everything. They are for a specific purpose in life, and that is to highlight, to develop a knowledge up to that very level that can be ultimately be benefited for the development of human knowledge and human service. This is something that is the ideal process. Now, in a country like India, of course researches are made, of course researches are done, of course researches are actually ultimately executed. But the number of good researches are very few, only because of researchers' main target is to get a job. They are more curious to get a job than to put a good contribution in the whole corpus of human knowledge. So, in the essay, we ultimately found Prafullo Chandra Ray was very sorry the kind of state in India and the kind of mentality of our youth had at that very time. Now, what is happening around? Of course, good researches are made every day, but at the same time, we should take pledge that nothing shallow, nothing superficial knowledge can do some good contribution. So, I was talking about the process of systematic inquiry. Now, this is the very one of the primary objects of research, that the researcher must collect data. Without the collection of data, you may go to for the field work, you can go to a library, you collect data regarding the particular area you are working on, but you have to collect data. Documentation is something that is next important part. So you collect data, you document all your information over there, and all those necessary information are preserved, documented, collected, assimilated. Now when the documentation process is on, what a researcher does, he starts analyzing them, he starts interpreting them, and the corresponding data and information from various sources that he starts consulting by this time. This consultation helps him or her to tally which one has to be taken and which one has to be removed, rejected. You know, in course of the process of research, a researcher collects so many data, and now if he would like to incorporate all the data in the research work, what ultimately will happen, he or she will be get confused. You know, you cannot incorporate all the data in your research work because you have to be very choosy. You have to know which one to select and which one to reject. You cannot welcome everything in your research work. So you have to welcome something and you have to reject something. So this is that very process of cooking your subject. A researcher must be a very good cook. Such a cook who knows what kind of ingredients to collect, what kind of, how long you have to boil your topic, how long you have to, those processes have to be maintained. What are the important ingredients that can make the dish, that is called the research findings, and those ultimate conclusions that can make it a kind of a very palatable and very tasty, and that you can serve in front of the rest of the people. So research is not a difficult one in that sense, but it requires patience. It requires optimum amount of fixity of mind, it requires concentration, it requires an attitude that the researcher must be a very laborious kind of a person. He will never cow down, actually get confused, he will be disheartened with preliminary failures, unsuccessful areas, not finding proper data, and now he is very much depressed and now leaving the research work. No, that should not be the feature of a good research, and that should not be the characteristic features of a particular researcher. So you have to, along with those modifications and assimilations of research material, a researcher will go on applying methodologies. Numerous methodologies are there, because since time immemorial the process of researches are in a kind of a on. Now Aristotle was also a researcher in his own typical way. Now he applied his own methodology, or the kind of methodology at that very early days. It was prevalent, it was present, it was maintained. So by this time, since that very early times to till date in 2021, numerous methodologies are available everywhere, and those methodologies a researcher must know under the supervision of a professor, a teacher, and he must guide him or her to know, to identify, to choose which methodology to apply in your research work. And this is how the whole process is actually made and done. So what we come to know out of this very preliminary talk of research, that research is of course a very creative process. It is not something very dull and drab. The process of that we call research, it is also a creative process, a systematic process. It is a systematic process to increase knowledge. And a researcher must know the pros and cons of that research work. So this is how the workshops, the early workshops are necessary while embarking on a huge project that we called research work. Those courseworks will help him or her to get ready for research work, to enable him for research work, and to lead him or her to that particular way that he or she has to maintain till he or she reaches the destination. So collection, organization, analysis, assimilation, and then the research work ultimately gets expanded and reaches to a level. And at the time of testing the validity of research materials, findings, he or she must maintain so many ways and paths like instruments, procedures, and different sort of experiments. And in that case, we would like to remind that very famous dialogues by Thomas Alva Edison, that while going for the invention of bulb, as it is popularly, this legendary story, this legend as it is in the common man, that he failed 100 times. So someone asked when he ultimately became successful in the 101st time, so you were a failure? No, I was not a failure, was the reply of Thomas Alva Edison. Rather, I analyzed, interpreted, attempted, and would like to go deeper to come to the conclusion ultimately that those 100 times were actually those processes through which researches, or that ultimately that was not the right path to go for the destination. So I continued my work on. So that was the reply of Thomas Alva Edison. And then 101st time, 101 times, so he was successful ultimately. Researches are of many types. So the more we look for research, so it will be found that different type of researches are actually there, and that will be interpreted gradually in our next lectures, in our next topics and discussion. But one very classic thing is that the word research, as it is found, that it is derived from the French word recherche. Now recherche gives a very opposite kind of a meaning. What is the opposite kind of a meaning? To go about seeking. So this seeking for enlightenment, that seeking for that ultimate truth, is the motto of a researcher. A researcher seeks, he without getting disheartened seeks for that ultimate truth and result. He observes, and then ultimately, so many factors are there in a perfect research. Let us, at least name some of those steps and stages through which a researcher passes at the time of that phases of research work. So what are those phases and parts? So after long observation and hobby and choices and selection, the researcher goes on selecting a particular topic. he finds that this is the topic on which a research can be made. So research cannot be made at random, whatever topic you get on the way, and you find that, okay, this is the topic on which I will do the research. But it takes a kind of a keen interest. If the researcher is not interested in a particular area, if he or she is not very much keen on that particular area, he or she shouldn't go for doing research there, because if the topic doesn't interest in the mind of the researcher, ultimately he or she cannot go to the destination. So a keen interest is required. He must be a kind of a person who is mad with that kind of a area that he would like to do research on. Now the next very important thing that we find is hypothesis. Hypothesis is a kind of a stage of prediction in which the researcher consults one or two like-minded, like topic, aspects, relations, tally, and so many variables are there. So hypothesis is a kind of a very tentative process in which the researcher actually tally, he makes a kind of a in that sense relationships of different aspects are placed side by side so that the variables can be detected, they are to be selected and then chosen ultimately. So these are the things, and then by this time researcher goes on collecting data, different samples, information, and those are processed in a particular professional, technical way. A researcher is a professional, of course. It is not something that a researcher, without not knowing the technicalities, he suddenly embarks on a job called research work. Rather, he must be a kind of a professional kind of an individual who knows what to do and how or in what typical way things are to be done. Now, when the data are collected for a long process, then ultimately it was the process of analysis, and he breaks down in so many different parts, in so many different pieces. The data are collected, then they are pieced in different sections, and those are actually analyzed in a rigorous process. And that rigorous analysis is actually are the causes that led an individual to the research work. And while the analysis part is done, then comes the another very significant section that we call data interpretation. Data interpretation, the data that you have collected so far, the data that you have analyzed so far, now it is time to put the data in different tables, figures and pictures. And you go on interpreting them in your own typical way. You interpret the data and you find the kind of changes over there. When you find the changes over there, you come to a kind of a thought or observation, and with long other processes you come to the conclusion that okay, so there is a kind of a gap. So this gap is something that you have to identify. When you can identify that research gap, and that research gap will ultimately be there, that you finally come to your tentative conclusion also. So that will be your proposal on the part of you, that you are making it clear that this is the processes that I have undertaken, and this is how the particular gap identified at the time of research work that can be faced, that can be tackled in that particular way. So this is how research work is a rigorous continuous process that helps individuals to authentic, dedicated, genuine researcher to find out something new which was so long hitherto remained unknown, and now that unknown phase he would like to highlight in front of us, and a new thought, a new angle is presented, contributed in that huge corpus, huge collection of human knowledge. Thank you so much. That much I had to say in our introductory discussion on research.